Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for your greatest support. Fellow Kenyans, you know, sometimes things happen in this country, and whenever we try to reflect back on the statements that were being made by, or that were made by Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta during the time that he was the president, personally, sometimes I don't know, but I blame Uhuru Kenyatta because he never told us things directly. Like there are people, okay, there are people who thinks that maybe he was supposed to say these things directly. Like for example, I want you to listen to this statement that came from Uhuru Kenyatta.
Unajua, unaweza kuanza safari na mtu na kwa roho yako you mean well, si ndio? Na unatamani mtamaliza pamoja, yeah? Lakini ukiwa unafika pale karibu, mnaendelea, unaangalia nyuma, unaona kiti ya nyuma imerushwa nje na kuna mwingine ameishika huko, unamuuliza passenger ndio huyo ameporwa mali. Hai, mnaendelea, gurudumu imeshuka, unamuuliza wewe fanya repair. Badala ya kufanya repair, ameenda na hiyo gurudumu ameenda kuuzia mwingine, kuweka kwa gari ingine. Mnaendelea, unaona sasa, jamani, tukiendelea hii safari, hii gari haifiki pahali inatakikana kufika. Si ndio hivyo? Inafika wakati unasema, ai, hii hata kama tulikuwa tumekubaliana ati tutabadilishana pale mbele, hapa hakuna kitu tutabadilishana, kwa sababu tutafika pale mwisho hata gari yenyewe itakuwa na chassis peke yake, kuna gari.
Now, Uhuru Kenyatta was talking about you are going somewhere in a car, mkona mtu kwa gari, and then ukifika mahali unagundua kwamba gurudumu moja limeenda, mara kiti moja limeenda, and they were working with William Ruto. So in other words, this guy was trying to tell us that this person is stealing. Nile tu, I can't mention his name directly, but this guy is stealing. But there are a lot of things that that Uhuru Kenyatta said zenye zimekuwa zikifanyika sasa hivi. Like alikuwa anazungumza kwenye fumbo ama kwa mafumbo. But I can't say, should I say that we ignored or what? Now, in this video, I've been thinking like why is it that every now and then we hear these politicians, they can't talk about anything. Like in Kenyan politics right now, what I've realized is that no politician, most of those who are in government, it is just Gachagua this, Gachagua that, Gachagua this, Gachagua, like they have nothing. They can't talk about things that are happening in this country. They can't talk about the development. They can't mention things to do with the development. They are only on Gachagua amesema hii, mara ile team, mara wale watu. They can't tell us that sisi kama serikali sasa tumeamua tunataka kufanya 1 2 3. We really what we want or what we need is, what are you going to do? Hatutaki mambo ya mara wamefanya hii, mara Gachagua amefanya hii, mara opposition imefanya hii. Those are nonsense. Can you tell us as the leaders, can you tell us that sasa sisi tumeamua tunataka kufanya 1 2 3? Like now, I've had and I didn't know that Sabina Chege bado anakuwa kwenye siasa. Sabina Chege anasema kwamba hata watu waseme nini, Rigathi Gachagua afanye nini na hiyo position yao, because they are split. William Ruto must go for 2 terms.
Onyo langu kwa wale wapinzani, mimi najisikia wanajiita United Opposition, na wao wenyewe wanajua wamekatika vipande kama sukuma sokoni. Lengine nataka niwaambie wale ndugu zangu wa United Opposition, uraisi si asali kwamba ataambiwa ramba wewe na wewe mwingine ramba huyu, aje mwingine ramba na wewe. Nataka niwaambie, kama hamuna plan vile rais wetu anasema, sisi wa Kenya, nataka tuwaambie, tutawaonesha yule ambaye wa Kenya wanasema ni 2 term, na tutaendelea kuwa na yeye bila shida. Kumbuka wa Munyoro, mimi nilikuwepo na wewe. Ulichokifanya wakijua, you have a lot of bitterness. Huyu bwana huyu Tulimsumbua tukiwa tumekaa katika baraza la mawaziri. Mheshimiwa Rais, mimi nataka nikushukuru na nikwambie ya kwanza, kama vile wenzangu walivyosema, tandika ulale. Shida yangu ilikuwa ni huyu bwana. Unamwona huyu Ali Hassan Joho, na maadamu tuko naye Your Excellency, toa shaka hapa tunaheshimu sisi wote. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Tuseme Raisi tutamu undapata kaundapata fukuza hupate kisha hukosa upata vivyo. Tutamu chile mtu ya Raisi, tutamu ya gavana Mung'aro, tiritamu ya Mbayu.
Usaidie huyu Tungule ujenge hiyo barabara ifike Matano Mane hapa Ganze, alafu utoe hiyo ufike Malanga, alafu utoe Malanga ufike huko Malindi constituency, tuunganishe Ganze, Malindi na Kilifi North. Tukifanya hivyo, hii Kilifi itakuwa imeng'ara na tutakupenda maisha yote kabisa kabisa. Ruto 2 term, level 6 2 term.
I'm surprised, eh? You know, I'm really surprised that a leader, kiongozi tu, women rep, anasimama na badala amepatana na William Ruto. Ruto is in Mombasa. Instead of discussing how you can how the infrastructure, how you can improve the infrastructure in your region or in your place, una discuss venye mtu, yani venye watu wako wanaweza wakaenda State House. Seriously. So right now every leader is really struggling on how their people can go to State House. Gertrude Mbeyu is the women rep of Kilifi County, and imagine she's really confused and confessing on how she really wants her people to come to Nairobi. Waende tu, yani anataka tu watu waende State House.
Mheshimiwa Rais, hawa kama wanataka kuja State House Nairobi, mwasemaje nyinyi? Mwataka kwenda hamtaki? Wakaoma mwataka kufika State House Nairobi hamtaki? Rais amesikia hajasikia?
Seriously. And also, let me ask this question. She's called the Minister of Land, eh? She's called Wahome, I think, yeah. Wahome is saying that Gachagua, don't try me, sikuogope. Nitakupeleka kama gari la miraa. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua is provoking others, thinking, I will fear him. If there are those who are afraid of him, I am not one of them. He has crossed my line and now it's between him and me. That is Wahome declaring family amid wild chase. So, unaona, and these people are very funny. Wanasema haya mambo pale ambapo kuna watu, ili watu wapige kelele, watu washerekee. And I have a question before I get deeper into this discussion. I have a question concerning the Minister of Land. Now, Wahome is the CS of Land. Since she took power, or since she was given that opportunity, what is it that we've ever seen headline for land? Like nini positive tumekuwa tukiona? Nothing. Rigathi Gachagua is saying that I really respect women. I can't respond to Alice Wahome because I know ametumwa na Ruto, but Ruto will soon know Kikuyus can only be rented but cannot be conned twice. Ladies and gentlemen, now I was trying to look at why are people in government always talking about Gachagua, always talking about people like they made their politics. Kitambo ilikuwa those who are in government talking about Raila Odinga. So right now they're not talking about Raila Odinga because Raila Odinga is in government. They're now talking about Rigathi Gachagua. And I found out around 4 or 5 things. Number one, I found out the issue to do with the power struggles inside the government, whereby you come unakuja unapata now I was looking at why is it that politics in Kenya is always about people, whereby you have to, like, for politicians believe that for them to succeed, for them to do things, or maybe for them to pass information, they have to beat, like, lazima zungumze negatively about another person for them to be felt like now wamezungumza. And number one, I found out that number one reason is because of the weak political parties. And under this, you realize that most parties in Kenya are vehicles for individuals, not strong institutions which with ideologies. Like you find that if it is ODM, it is a vehicle that is being driven by Raila Odinga. DCP right now is being driven by Rigathi Gachagua. UDA is being driven by William Ruto. Jubilee was being driven by Uhuru Kenyatta. So it's all about the driver more than the passengers. You see, it is more about the driver. It is all about the driver more than the people that the driver is driving. It's all about the leader more than people that is leading. And you find that when a leader leaves, the party often collapses or rebrands around another person. Like, for example, right now, Jubilee was Jubilee when Uhuru Kenyatta was in. And then Uhuru Kenyatta aliachana na sasa kidogo. Right now, Jubilee is not... In fact, Jubilee, kama kuna party ambao sasa hivi people can't take serious as Jubilee. Why? Because Uhuru Kenyatta used Jubilee to become the president. After becoming the president, after finishing his terms, akatoka kwenye siasa. So right now we're not hearing Jubilee. So it's all about when that person that was the leader there leaves the party na collapse. Nobody takes that party serious because the person that was leading the party is gone. Look at the example of KANU. People like ODM, Jubilee. I think I've given you all those things. Number two, I realized that there is this issue of ethnic mobilization, whereby politics is heavily tied on ethnic identity. For instance, communities often rally around one person, and one person see as their defender. Like right now, community like Kikuyus are rallying behind Rigathi Gachagua. Luos are rallying behind Raila Odinga. I don't know, Luyas sijui ana rally behind nani. By the way, Luyas, those who are watching this, can you tell me, Luyas are rallying behind who? Because Luyas, I don't know kama kuna community yenye sasa hivi has got no one that they can rally behind. This one has been happening since the demise of Wamalwa Kijana. They've never had anybody that they can kusema kwamba sasa hivi, because imagine kuna Wetangula, kuna Mudavadi, kuna Natembea, kuna Francis Atwoli. There are a lot of people. Malala ndio wako hapo, Peter Salase ndio anajitokeza. So they don't have anybody they wanaweza wakasema kwamba now this is the person that we are rallying behind. Unlike Kikuyus right now, they have Gachagua. Luos obvious wako na Raila Odinga. And then we have got Kalenjins wako na William Ruto. Then ukienda Mombasa we have got Alias Sanjo. I don't know whether Alias Sanjo bado ameshikashika. And then Kisii pia iko hapo, mara Matiang'i, mara Omtata, mara Matiang'i, mara Simba Arati, mara the former Maraga. So unaona, so the problem is the issue of the ethnic mobilization. Like these guys, people prefer rallying around one person rather than around policies. What are the policies? And these policies, who presents them? That is the problem. And then you find that is why leaders are called kingpins. We have got the issue of kingpins. Mara Raila is the kingpin of Luos, Mara Gachagua is the kingpin of Kikuyus, Mara Ruto is the kingpin of Kalenjins, Mara O is the kingpin of like the ethnicity, the kingpin thing, the region, like that is another thing. The third thing is the historical legacy. And you find that since independence, power has been concentrated around big men. And you find that this thing created a traditional policy that surrounds that personalities. You could do around personalities more than manifesto. Like, what is this person saying? If this person doesn't speak, then kuna shida kubwa sana. You see, those are the kind of problems that we have right now. Another thing is the issue of media and the public culture. You know, people believe that whenever they speak, the media amplifies them, because you know, we as media, kuna kitu moja ambayo nilikuja nikagundua when I was studying and when I was in school and I was doing these things. I came to realize that ukiangalia newspaper, in fact what you're being told to do is like nani amesema nini. So the moment we focus on nani amesema nini more than nini imesemwa, you find that, and then first things, what normally happens for these things to sell, like the newspapers, for them to sell, what normally happens is this: they look at the big fish. What has the big fish said? So unakuja napata kwamba the big fish ndio kwa front page, and then akishakuwa kwa front page, what mtu akikuja kuangalia the front page anaona, oh, Raila amesema hii, Ruto amesema hii, Gachagua amesema hii, and then now that's the thing that is selling. So media amplifies personalities than what Raila, Gachagua have said more than policies. Unakuja napata kwamba the media houses, the newspapers zenye ziko na tax reforms or health programs in front pages, they don't sell. Ni Raila, Ruto, Gachagua, Uhuru, front page. They must, in fact, they must be there. They must be on the front pages. And then you find that people discuss as leaders, not issues. Tunapenda kudiscuss leaders sana more than issues. Unapata vikundi vya watu vipo, watu wana discuss what has, like, huyu mtu amesema nini, more than real issues. And then the another thing is the issue to do with the weak institutions, whereby we find that when institutions like courts, parliaments, IBC, parties are not fully trusted, people look to individuals for solutions. Like sasa tutasaidika aje? Then people run to somebody. Voters often feel it is the leader who will bring development, not the system. That is it. That is why wakati ambapo Ruto alikuja na Hustler Nation, watu walikimbia kwa William Ruto, because they knew that Ruto will bring change. So right now we are facing the consequences of our choices. After all, guys, that is just my thought, and that is all I have for now. Let me know what you think in the comment section, but don't forget to drop me a comment. Tell me what you think and where you're watching this video from. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Bonfesino.